Happy New Year, traders. I'm very excited to share several new ideas, concepts, and strategies with you all today. As always, I'm going to provide my actionable trade plans, entry, and exit targets for these actionable trade ideas. Now, just before I get into that, I wanted to just share a very key takeaway. During a week like this, where I'll be a lot more active intraday versus swing because it's a shortened week and I expect volume liquidity to be low, I'm going to have a lot of alerts set in various stocks around critical levels. Now, setting alerts is a very, very simple practice that you can do that could potentially result in considerable upside. For example, in Microsoft, my idea last week, while the stock didn't break out, it continued to consolidate and set up around a critical breakout level. And it remains on watch for me with alerts set for the week ahead. So here's my exact plan in Microsoft. I'm going to be setting a lot of alerts, as I mentioned, specifically around the 377 area. And I'll turn my attention to Microsoft more actively to see whether or not the stock can spend time over resistance. All right, if that alert goes off and if it can base over 377. Also, I'm going to pay attention to the stock's performance relative to its sector as well as the overall market to gauge its strength or weakness on the day along with its volume and RVOL, relative volume. Now, if Microsoft ticks those boxes and meets the criteria, then I'm going to look to put the plan in motion. I'm going to look to initiate that long in Microsoft as I laid out in last week's watch list. So it remains on the list this week, but with alerts set. I'm not going to just spend all day watching the stock. Instead, I'm going to focus more on intraday, focus on other stocks that are moving, other stocks that are in play. And if alerts go off and the trade materializes, I'll then prioritize my focus there. The next idea on this week's watch list is in Mara. And Mara is going to be a reactive and open-minded idea and trade. And really, as Bitcoin continues to trade in this range between above 42,000, below 44,000, those are the reactive points of interest that I'm going to be looking for in stocks related to Bitcoin, like Mara, like Riot, CLSK, etc., etc. But after the extent of Mara's move on Friday, an immense sell-off, my attention is now going to be focusing on intraday momentum trades, while Bitcoin continues to trade in that range. So now, while Bitcoin stays in that range, if Mara pushes higher, I'm going to look for a reactive fade once it confirms. All right, once it confirms means once I see supply take hold and I see a key intraday failure and level to risk against. So an area that I'm going to be watching closely for failed follow through, price action is around 26. All right, that's the first point of interest and first area I would look to get short. So I'll look for a short opportunity intraday, targeting a quick move back towards 25 to 24 with a stop placed above the high of the failed move higher. And on the other side of it, conversely, as long as Bitcoin remains in the range, if Mara opens weak and trades lower, and if we get a wash down towards 22 to 20, that's going to get me interested in looking for a reactive long. So price action like that would get me to go long with a stop below the higher low for an intraday bounce trade, because I'm going to be looking for the stock to push into that area of 22 to 20, a weak open, flush lower, take out Friday's low, come into some bids, find some support, snap back, and put in that higher low. That would act as confirmation for me to get long. Now, how do I get out of a position like that if it works and materializes well? Well, I'll use a lot of discretion typically for trades like this. For my entries and exits, a lot of reactive price action type of trading. So for example, if that trade works, I'm going to target the intraday VWAP as a potential target, perhaps my first target. Then I'll be looking for a move back to green as a second target, and discretionarily take my position off if the stock breaks an intraday trend line, or if we fail to hold over VWAP or fail to hold green. That's when I might look to take the rest of the position off, for example. My next idea, my last main idea coming into this week is MULN. It was on the list last week, but I never really saw the price action I wanted to. It didn't materialize as I had planned. Therefore, I did not get short. I didn't initiate that trade. However, I do like how the chart has developed now, because last week the stock pushed higher. Obviously, I think it squeezed out a lot of eager swing shorts, and it put in a really nice low high relative to the first high it put in the previous week on a higher time frame. And now I think it's really set up a fresh opportunity to get short for a swing trade. It's got me very interested here. But something very important to remember when you're trading a stock like MULN is that obviously we all know the history, the track record of dilution with regards to the stock. But the float is small now post reverse split, and the liquidity is drying up relative to when it had its initial move right after the split. So therefore, just remember, it's so essential to exercise caution when you're trading a stock like this. Don't oversize, don't be stubborn, plan the trade the plan, have your stops in place, have hard stops, don't be too loose with it. For me, I'm going to be looking to use this 18 area as my guide, as my stop and line in the sand. I'm going to be looking to short pops in the stock going forward. Ideally, we're going to get a push 15 to 16. This would be a great area risk reward for me to get short for a swing trade. I'll be adjusting my size on entries and scaling into my position relative to just putting it on the open on Tuesday and just seeing whether it works or not. I'm going to be fighting for my price, looking to get in as close to where I'm wrong as possible on pops, adjusted for size relative to where I'm entering as I scale. And then I'm going to be looking for a move back towards 12 as my first target to take some risk off, potentially lock in some gains. Thereafter, I plan on holding for a move back closer to 11, 10-ish, and 9. These will be my ultimate targets, really, with back into this zone right here, which would provide a nice skewed risk reward on the trade. But once entered, I plan on holding this for a week, possibly slightly longer, as long as price confirms that. However, obviously I'll be out if I get stopped out, or I'll also get out if the stock breaks any downward trend line after I've entered and it starts to base over 15s and 16s. I'll get out of it. No need to stick around if price action is not confirming it. Some back burner ideas, additional names that I have alerts set and will be keeping on watch are AFirm, AFRM, NVIDIA, and CING Sing. That's it for this week, guys. Good luck, and I'll see you next week.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of SMB Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with SMB to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part, you don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.